Welcome back, MMA Island fans. Joining us all the way from the New Orleans, Louisiana, the newly crowned ONE FC World Champion, Tan Lee. How are you today, my friend?
Doing good. I can't complain. Back home with the fam and resting and back to training.
Awesome. So you're looking pretty, even though you fought not too long ago. How was the ride back home from the ONE headquarters?
It wasn't bad at all. The flight, obviously, long flight, but it's a little better when I have the hardware to kind of keep me comfortable, in the seat next to me. So, not complaining about that part too much, but I'm a little less disciplined as far as water intake and getting up and stretching. So, I'm a little swollen in the ankles and feet, but other than that, man, good and safe and sound. And
Yeah, so awesome. I haven't done this quite yet, but tell me how this turned out. You're flying back home. You're walking past these security guards with a big, nice, shiny, heavy belt on your arm. What are these guys saying to you?
so I'm not that big of a flaunter. I had it in like a duffel that I was carrying, but
Oh, okay, I see.
going through customs, the guy was obviously kind of seeing if it was business or pleasure and all that, and I explained what we were doing over there. So he asked to see the belt, and then from that point on, my coach had it on his shoulder the entire time. I posted on my story. It was pretty funny. They're always like, yeah, so what were you doing over there? I explained to them, they're like, did you win a trophy or what? Well, I won a belt, world title, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, can I see it? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Doesn't bother me at all, but it's funny to whip out a big ass gold belt in the middle of it.
Yeah, how heavy was the thing actually?
It's pretty heavy. I don't know, like 15 pounds. I mean, it's got some weight to it. My
Okay.
hands bother me, so it's difficult to pick up.
Yeah, what we talked about this before, but what did you actually end up doing to your hand?
So thank goodness, so far X-ray negative, nothing's broken, so the healing time won't be too bad. But Martin was doing a really good job shelling up and giving me his forehead to hit and not his face, which was a really good idea on his part. Eventually we found it, thank goodness. But yeah, dinging those shots off his dome was obviously my hands and my knuckles were taking the brunt of that. And I was saying earlier, I guess that's the downside of hitting really hard. My damage. Sorry about that. My hands
Yeah,
take.
good. Yeah, so I gotta continue on that path, but I don't want to get distracted. You win that belt, you bring it back to the hotel room. Do you end up sleeping with the belt?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay,
I had
I
a
knew
whole
it.
belt. Me and the belt had plenty of conversations and tears. But I did put it next to me for a couple pictures. But I've said this in previous interviews. It's not the belt that is super exciting. It's what the belt gives me. The opportunity to fight the best guys in the world, and that's really what gets me excited. I mean, it's fun and games posting on my story and all this about the belt, but we talked about that before. The opportunity that the belt gives me, um, the chances now I get to take to go fight other guys that are the best in the world, different divisions, different organizations, like all these different things that we're going to try to accomplish.
Yeah, so with that belt, you had to go through a very tough Martin Nguyen. So talk me through that matchup. It was a very back and forth matchup through the 3 rounds it lasted. Were you rocked at all at one point in that third round?
No, so there was a part where he hit me, and it put me perfectly to my third point, and stumbled me. But
Hmm.
somebody asked me about it, and I told him, that very first punch of the fight, I ended up punching him and pushing him to his third point, and he stumbled and hit the mat, but it wasn't much of a hit. I didn't hit him. He same to me. He threw a good shot, but it really took me to my off balance point, so that's why I stumbled. Um, but it wasn't really hurting the fight. The first 2 rounds, he landed leg kicks, and that's about it. I mean, we were up a ton of shots to his 2 leg kicks. He didn't really land any punches. My movement was on point. I mean, it was a one-sided affair up until the third round, and then in the third round, he got some great momentum going with his forward pressure, landing a few shots. I had to take some off of it because those shots were coming. If he would have hit me with one of those, I'd have been in trouble, man. I would have been asleep, no doubt. Because Martin swings, we know that he's got power in both hands.
Yeah.
but I had to roll those shots and take the power off of those. But luckily, with good feet and good movement and good awareness, I was able to do that. And then part of the downside with that overwhelming pressure and that crazy amount of forward stepping is you step into my strike zone, and that's what happened. He just made a big swing, ended up getting clipped with a little sneaky shot that my brother and I have been practicing, and then the last few seconds of me just going a little crazy and trying to get him out of there.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you that. It was his millions and trillions of forward pressure and a couple punches in there, but that one check hook kind of. Were you practicing that like you mentioned with your brother before?
Yeah, I posted the video that was that he made for me that pretty much showed that technique. That's a huge part of my offense, and it mixes in well with the way I move and the way I make you come get me. But yeah, just one of the many things that my guys have having me drilling and hitting mitts with. And we talk about this a lot, and not to sound corny, but Bruce Lee always says, like, you don't throw the punch, it throws itself. Like it hits all on its own, because during the time of pressure and craziness and all the shit going on in the fight, those techniques come out because you train the right way. We don't think, hey, this punch belongs here. It just comes out. It does it on its own, right? And I think that's the sign of a technique that you really know, and a technique that's really in your toolbox. Is it comes out all on its own.
Yeah, so you mentioned my friend Bruce Lee. I'm not too sure if you were showing us your JKD techniques in that fight with Martin, but explain to me. It looks similar to Taekwondo, but talk to me. What is the analogy behind this JKD?
So what I do is my base is purely Taekwondo, and I've mixed that with as much boxing as I've had the pleasure of learning, and then just trying to pick as many fight game brains as possible. And a huge piece of that is my corner, Sean Dayton, and my brother Vin Lee, and then my main training partner, Ron Paul, and a buddy of mine, Evan Freeman. Is that little squad that I have kind of put together around me is super helpful and super I guess you could say thinking outside of the box, kind of incorporate the Taekwondo movement, the Taekwondo range and striking to my long straight line attacks with my hands, and then my hooks and things of that nature. So it's been really cool to be able to kind of mix everything in our own little way. I've got plans on an instructional coming out soon to kind of let everybody know of my thinking behind why we do the moves we do, and why we move the way we move, and why we try to focus so much on not getting hit in the fight, and then finding our shots throughout that and using our footwork and things like that. So it's something that I've pretty much spent my entire life trying to get good at, and it's coming out well.
Perfect. So when that comes out, you have to let me know so I can start practicing my spinning back kicks and everything. All right, awesome. And another thing you mentioned a little while ago was that your brother Vin. So I'm pretty sure he's coming up in the MMA world. Talk to me. Where do you see his future coming?
Oh man, he's way better than me. Y'all gonna see. But yeah, he's in my corner for a reason. The man's super smart. It's great to have family around you, because you know where their intentions are. They only have the best for you in mind, and then they're going to try to help as much as they can. And then we spend a weird amount of time together. We're always around each other. That includes training and hanging out and playing Xbox or whatever, But it's really cool to see him kind of go into that coach role, and then he's obviously learning so much about his own game by helping me out and showing things that we need to mix into my game. So I'm just really excited to see him go out there and really just wipe the floor with a bunch of dudes, and really grow as a martial artist on his own. And then y'all are gonna see him soon. Hopefully we can get him up in one championship, winning some belts. We'll see.
We'll see. The future will tell. But for you, my friends, we have a lot of opportunities. But we're going to take this train off the track a little bit, and we're going to go to tell me about the craziest dream that you remember out of all the crazy dreams that you've had before.
Oh, man.
We're taking you way back.
Yeah, let's see. All right, there's two that I kind of have. They're not really that crazy, but
Okay.
They're recurring dreams, I'll tell you that. There's one that I'm always waking up and I find out that I'm in school, but I've forgot about a class that I haven't gone to in like months, and I'm so behind and I missed the test, and there's no way I'm gonna pass this test. I don't know what that means in the dream world. One of you fans out there, I'm sure it's got something to do with my anxiety, but yeah, that's a recurring one. And you wake up and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about this class. I missed the test. I haven't done homework, and I'm way too old to be in school. And the other one I have is somehow, some way, I need to save my family, but I just can't punch hard or fast. It's like I'm punching in sand or water, and that's a terrible, terrible feeling too. Those are
Yeah.
those are two recurring dreams that I actually haven't had in a while, but I remember those standing out.
There's always those dreams that they happened a long time ago, but they like stick in your mind.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right, so with your future, with one championship, we have these guys coming up. For example, Gary Tonin. Talk to me. Where is a place that you would like to match up against with a future opponent?
So we've touched on this a little bit. There's a few things I want to do. And there's three. I apologize about that. There's a couple of matchups that I have in mind that we want to take a look at. And obviously, you mentioned Gary. He's going to be fighting Matsushima coming up soon. That's going to be an interesting matchup to watch and see who comes out of that as a really top contender in the division. Obviously, I'll be excited to fight one of those guys too, because both of them pose a great danger. And then Gary's obviously on everybody's radar because of his elite jiu-jitsu skills. So that's going to be great to watch and great to fight one of those guys. And then, we've talked about rematch with Martin. That there's some things I want to improve on my game that I think I can get back in there and really put them out even earlier than I did. That's always a big at when I'm aiming for whenever we do get this matchup. I want it to be in Vietnam because I think that's going to be huge for the company, huge for the country of Vietnam and their fans and our fans. So I think that's a win-win all the way around. And then obviously we have our eyes up in the lightweight division with Christian Lee, who just had an awesome fight, defended his title super well. He looked great out there. So that's he looked very dangerous, very skilled. So that's another matchup that catches my eye because it seems like a very, very difficult opponent to face.
Mm. Yeah, so it would be a matchup of Lee versus Lee. But you got to explain to me here. It says on Tapology that you just won the lightweight title. What's going on there?
I don't know. I
Okay.
mean, it could be confusing because it is a featherweight title,
Okay.
but we fight at 155 pounds because one championship doesn't allow you to dehydrate yourself to weigh in.
Really?
So maybe they were confused at the 155 pounds, but it's featherweight.
Okay. Well, awesome. That you just made me a little bit smarter in that area. I didn't actually know that. That's awesome.
There we go.
Yeah. So I feel like this is a great one to end on here. Before we let you go, you got to tell me how good did it feel when you talked about that belt after everything you've gone through in your past with the UFC and other promotions?
Man, it's great. It's hard to put into words because no matter what you find in a thesaurus, it doesn't really explain how I feel, right? But it's a kind of an accumulation of a lot of things. My ups and downs in the sport. Not a ton of downs as far as like losses and things go, but definitely a lot of downs as far as not getting picked up when I thought I was going to get picked up by a certain organization. Things not working out in the Ultimate Fighter. But honestly, I would not, if I could go back, I wouldn't change my path for anything. It's put me on the right road at the right time. And obviously it's got me at the peak of my career. I'm the best fighter I could possibly be right now. And it's only heading in one direction. This isn't about, okay, I've done it. I won the belt. It's over. All those things led up to me being free in the cage, not being, trapped by any doubts or worries or lack of confidence. Like it's been such a road, but it's to be able to end where I'm at and be able to be the best version of me I can. And that's what this is about. It's not about a bunch of money. It's not about a gold belt. It's about literally being the best martial artist and fighter that I could possibly be, and that's where I'm at right now. And we're not stopping. We're going to train today. We're going to train tonight. We're going to train tomorrow. Like it's going to get better and better, and that's the whole goal in this sport is to be that guy and to fight the opposition, and that's really given me, and it's been so great.
So what advice exactly could you give to someone who maybe they're going through that, like at this very moment, maybe they've gone through exactly what you've gone through?
It's tough and it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but really continue doing things the right way, busting your ass, working hard and working smart. Surround yourself with people that you look up to and that are doing things the right way, and it's only going to rub off. You can't don't let the doubts creep in. Don't let the gaps in fights or the non-pickup or non-sign contract get you down. If you're doing this because you love it, keep your head down and continue doing it because you love it. F all the other bullshit that comes with fighting. You know what I mean? Do it because you love it. Do it because you want to get better, and only good things will come from that. That's the philosophy I've followed, and I've taken a crazy path, but it's really gotten me to where I could not be happier.
Okay, so I lied. I have one more for you. Where can I get some fancy ears like those ones? Come on.
That's a lot of pain and trouble you don't want. This hat kind of makes it look a little better, but these ears, I look like an open door coming down the street. An open a car with its doors open coming down the street. That's it.
All right, so maybe I don't want to go through that, but before I let you go here, I want to give you the opportunity to thank anyone who's helped you along your journey thus far. The floor is all yours, my friend.
Man, the list is too long. I can't even make an Instagram post without forgetting my brother and my wife, and they're the two closest people to me. But I'm gonna try. Obviously my teams, Mid City MMA, 50/50 Jiu-Jitsu, Moon College Taekwondo, my main gyms, everybody there that's helped me. You know who you are, and it's an endless list of people. Obviously my brother Vin Lee, my coach Sean Gayton, another coach of mine Ryan Hall, main training partner of mine Evan Freeman. That's a big group of people that have contributed to that gold around my waist. So it's been great. There's so many people I'm missing, but you know what? Last one. Hi, Tran. I love you, buddy. That's it. I'm done.
All right, we'll make sure to tell him you put him in there. All right, so my friend, it was a pleasure talking with you today. I wish you the best in your future, and hopefully we will be talking very soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, you take care.
You too.
See ya.